Now, one of the most important elements in classification and being able to utilize IP addresses is what's known as the subnet mask. The subnet mask is a value which simply identifies the division of the network portion of the address and the host portion of the IP address. The subnet mask is actually used in conjunction with the source address and destination address by routers to make routing decisions. When you think about the standard subnetting procedure as defined in the RFC, all hosts in a given network scheme will always use the exact same subnet mask to provide accurate routing. This is known as classful subnetting. First, we're going to learn the procedure for classful subnetting. This will lend itself to some of the more advanced calculations of IP addresses that we will use to try to preserve some of our additional IP address space. But with a classful subnetting process, the same subnet mask is always evaluated against both the source and the destination IP. This is done by the local host to determine whether it's supposed to send the packet to a local host directly or if it needs to send the packet to the default gateway so that it can be routed to a remote segment. Without an accurate subnet mask, things like broadcast storms for ARP or what are commonly known as ARP storms can occur. So we need to make sure that we do have an accurate subnet mask for every host on our network. There are two different types of masks that are used. The default mask is simply the number of bits that are reserved by the address class. This is sometimes known as masking the classful boundary. For instance, in case of Class A, we would only mask the first 8 bits, while for Class B, we would mask the first 16 bits. Both will be known as masking the classful boundary for Class A and B respectively. If we only use the default subnet mask for any class, it only accommodates a single network segment because we've chosen to use only that class network rather than creating subnetworks of that class. Therefore, we'll not have any more than one subnet capability throughout our entire network. Obviously, this doesn't work if we have routers. So in 99% of cases, a single address will be used and a custom subnet mask will be defined by the administrator. This will allow you to accommodate many more network segments. Remember that the mask itself defines the bits that are used by the network address. The classful boundary defines the classful network bits. A custom subnet mask would define any additional bits that are going to be used for the network portion.